This is Short Hammer. It is the 26th of January, 2020. And I want to sort of breeze through a few tickers and look at how they look technically. So this is Target on the 4 hour, and we've seen some selling. Nice little drawdown here. And we're bouncing along this area that looks like a little bit of candle structure. And this is from October. And this is from November. Do I think buyers are going to step in here? I'm not sure, but I'll wait to find out. I'll see if we see more selling and we dip down below this. But if we continue to consolidate here at this 113 by 114 level, I may look for a call. We have earnings coming up on the 4th of March, so this might be interesting. I'm going to be following sweeps on this, seeing if any sweeps come through on BlackBox. And just seeing how it looks. I am in no rush to jump into this. Right now, it just looks like it's consolidating to me. We'll see if it drops down another leg and gets down into the 110s, which is also an area you see a little bit of candle structure, a little bit of tops here on the 4 hour. But this is on the watch list. We'll see how this shakes out. And if anything comes out that's interesting, I might take a position on this. Not sure if it'll be just naked options or verticals, but I'll be keeping an eye on Target for sure, just based on this pullback into this structure here, and if it drops down to here, also I like that structure. Moving on to Amazon, one of my favorite tickers, and we had a pullback once we broke below the 1885, and this is an area that I mentioned that was really important on the not the intraday, but the daily chart. And if you look at the daily chart, let's switch to daily real quick and we'll come back to the 4 hour. If you look at the daily chart, we had numerous days where we struggled to get through this 1885. We see boom, 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 just really a lot of turbulence here. So when we were watching the market, let's switch this to 5-minute real quick. And on Friday, we dropped below this. After spending so many days unable to get through this, that was clearly a sign here. Boom, can't get through. Boom, can't get through. Finally got through, back tested, up, back under, back tested, back over, boom, boom, up, back under. This here, because we need to escape velocity, we need to get away from this 1885 as far as possible. Once you break supply, you want that demand to be so strong that it's like an explosion away. And once you break through, you want that selling to be so strong that it's also an explosion down to the downside here. And we did see an explosion as far as the selling. Once we went below here, not on this candle, but this candle here was a good short entry with a break and hold above this 1890 area as a stop. So this was a good short. Got a little bit of this. Not all of this move. I was kind of busy Friday, but it bounced right here down at our supply demand area around the 1850s. Now, if we switch this to a 4 hour, we see that we're falling back near some previous levels. If we take it back, sounds like my sun is up and needing a little bit of attention. Look at this area here, a little bit of candle structure. So hold on, let me go check to make sure he is okay, and I'll be right back to finish this up. Back. My son was like, "Dad, meatloaf," but not really, more a bottle. But that's why we do what we do. So let's see. So maybe this will be a buying opportunity. I'm not sure, but I'm going to be watching Amazon closely. And what will be a signal to buy for me? If we continue to hold above this 1851 area, then I might get long this with a tight stop of a close and pull below. The low of this candle looked to be about 1846, 1845-ish. If I get in on this, I'll probably keep it tight. But also, the 1833s could provide a dip buying opportunity. So if I get in, what I'll do is if we hold the 1850s, then I might get long. And if we go below, I'll have a quick stop on that and see if we can go down to the next level where I may also get long there. And if we go below that, stop out. but I know earnings is coming up, so that premium will be interesting. I might do some verticals just to mitigate the risk, but I do like Amazon. And we'll see. This looks like somewhat of a mini channel. It could be from here into this area here. We'll see how this shakes out, but I am still bullish on Amazon. We're still above the 1830s. So I still think buyers can step in. We're headed into earnings. This thing can move 100 points in either direction. But I'm just watching my supply demand levels here, and we'll see how this shakes out. The other ticker, let's see what Netflix looks like. What is that? Not even a ticker. So if we see Netflix on the 4-hour, how are we looking? Not bad. And so what you have to look at, what I will look at, let's go to the daily chart, because Netflix is not at all-time highs, and it's been here before. We're still holding this uptrend that we have here on the daily. It can pull all the way back to that and still be uptrending. So we're testing this area here, right? And what we see here, look at these candles here. Up into this area, the 360s, we see pullbacks, right? We've gone up into that area, and here we sort of broke through. Here we couldn't get through. Here we got through, didn't hold for long, came back below. And here we just had a bunch of days where we just struggled to get through this area. Look at it all across here, all that area. The area to watch that's like a huge, I'll say brick wall, is this 384/385 area. The last time we were above that was back in 2018, it looks like. So if we do continue to go up, watch this area to see if we can get through that. That's like just a brick wall. So we'll see how that shakes out. So what am I looking for on Netflix? I want to see if we hold above the 343 area. If we get back below this, I'll probably be fading this down to the 335s. If we stay above, I'm not getting in on this this potential gap close. I'll wait for a break over this 361 and a back test and hold for me to look for a long position. So we'll see how this shakes out on Monday, if the market is in sell mode or if it's buy the dip mode. I'm in no rush either way. I just play my levels. We'll see how that shakes out. And what else? I may stop at those. Let's see what's BA looking like. BA is always insane. So BA did stop at our 302 line here. If you look at my prior videos, this line was here previously. It's not a new line. And we pushed up into this 323. We look at all this area here. We've seen some bottoms, some reversals here that happened on coming down, bounce, bounce, gap, bounce, tap, bounce, bounce. So we'll see if this holds. If we break above this 323, we have room over in the 329 area, and we'll see how that shakes out. But not bullish or bearish because BA is interesting. And on their earnings, I'm pretty sure they're going to take a significant loss based on that 737 max. So we have to see how all this shakes out. I'm not even touching BA with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to wait for earnings. And whichever direction it goes on earnings, I'll wait for it to either sell below this level or buy and take us above this level. And I'll play pullbacks either direction that we go. I am not gambling with this ticker. I may play it intraday, but I'm going to be really leery of touching that this week just because of earnings and because there's so much news swirling around BA. It could take you in either direction, rip your face off, and before you know it, whatever you're trading as far as your premium could be gone. So I'll be hesitant on this unless I see a great setup as far as intraday, where we're either bullish or bearish, and I can get a pullback, and I'll try to fade or dip by this. Let's see what else was interesting. Those I'm looking at. What's NVIDIA? Not really NVIDIA. I'm not feeling NVIDIA. Let's see. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA, same thing. This is a daily chart. We saw this push up into the 260 level. And if you look across, you see some taps here, a little bit of candle action, tops here, tops, some strong tops here at the 252 area. So where are we? We're below that. So if we back test that and we can't get above that, that might be a good short, but I'll be careful on NVIDIA and I'll play it off the intraday. We have a line here, 247, then 242. So NVIDIA is interesting. If it breaks and holds above the 260s, the 266 area is also an area where you can look for a little bit of turbulence. But it does open up above that into the 279. So if we can squeeze above here, we may have some room up to that area. But I'll be watching NVIDIA. All these things I'm watching for intraday setups. I'm not a big swinger. I prefer to, interesting. We'll see if this gets below this 248 and we pull back here to the 247. That could be interesting looking at the 4 hour. It's not bad, even though we have a little bit of, could drop down into this area too. So we'll have to watch and see if the selling continues on Monday. And if the buyers step in this area, pull back. They tried here, back up here, kind of holding the line here on the 4 hour for a few days. Even though we had a slight leak here, leaking a little bit of oil, but went back above. So I'll be watching NVIDIA to see how this shakes out. But these are the levels that we have. And for me, the way that I play it, when it pulls back into a demand area, I look for bullish candle formations on the intraday, and I get long. If we fall below my area and we back test and I see bearish candle formations, I'm short. So that's how I play these lines on any ticker that I'm playing. And I prefer when the lines are kind of wider and you have more distance, because then I can get a little bit of range on my trades. But that is what I'm watching. I may do another video, but let's see, Facebook. Let's look at all the other ones. Let's see what Facebook is doing. Okay, Facebook. We are below this 218. Facebook is interesting. I don't have any, I don't think I traded Facebook recently. This there looks like a natural resting place, this 208. We'll see if it pulls back to that and buys up off of there. But up at these levels, earnings is this week. Well, earnings are this week. Wow, that's beautiful. So this will be interesting also. I'll be keeping an eye on Facebook. It definitely does like to move on earnings. I might have to look for a play on this, maybe a few verticals or something like that. We'll see how that shakes out. I will have to ask Elisa, because she's the master of that stuff, to figure out what I want to do on this for earnings. And let's see, what else do we have? See if what Apple. Apple barely moved. That's awesome. Apple's strong. Wow. Earnings also coming up. Okay. Apple may be ready to go too. So we'll see how this shakes out. I usually for Apple and Facebook, if I do play them pre-earnings, it'll be a vertical. Just, because you never know which way they may go. But prior, like after earnings comes out on the day after, I like to play them also, play the pullbacks to either fade or to get long. So I'll be watching these. I'm gonna draw some lines on, haven't drawn any lines on Apple here, but I'll be watching Apple and keeping an eye on ANTM. I haven't lined this up yet, but I will soon. It has clear sections that you can sort of mark off on here. And looking at this, they have earnings. And if you look at ANTM, you could also look at UNH. Always make a mistake on that. This is interesting. We see healthcare coming off. That's interesting here. And let's see, CI. That's coming off also. CI hit this 215, came back down. See if the buyers step in at 202 or not. This would be interesting. Or if the buyers kick us back above the 206. then I'll be long, honestly. So we'll see how this shakes out. But I'm definitely watching all these. I'm going to set some alerts. I may do another video with an individual ticker. Let me know if you like me going through multiple tickers at once, or if you prefer the individual videos. If you like what you've seen here, please don't hesitate to tap that like button and subscribe to our channel, Power of Pivots, where you can receive more content like this, and also content from Elisa as she demonstrates and shows people how she utilizes her Power of Pivot script to get great entries and exits on intraday and also swing plays. Thank you so much for your time.